8 weeks since the last update. You'd think I'd have this project done after 8 weeks, but life gets in the way. A little spring break, some sports, family commitments. So I bought some Ride Tech shocks. These are airbag shocks here. The shortest ones you could buy. I forget what the name of the shock was called, but I did get the one mounted on this side, tacked in place, and I got the mount on the other side. I bought these tabs. If you've never purchased anything, I bought these tabs at A&A. They're really good for this type of work. And then I took this measurements off this and realized that the tires, well, not the tires, but the wheels off of a Police Interceptor Explorer or Charger actually will work for temporary. So I actually got these wheels and tires for free, and so it's a good option just to get it on the wheels. So as you can see in here, I have some temporary braces from this cross member I welded in this straight cross member. I welded into place so that the subframe won't move. There's two in the back, two in the front. And then I have the relieves. The upper one didn't really change from my original thought process, but the lower one, I was going to do something different, and then I realized I needed to sort of angle cut that to make it really work better. You can see over here. So there's still some cleanup welding on there, and you can see from the original cut over here, there's a pie shape that I have already cut. I just had to piece it in there. So once I'll weld on the inside, and then I'll do all the finished tigging on the outside, so it welds on both sides. So to get the mount in place, I have to box the frame. So I recently cut these two pieces out of 188 sheet steel. It'll go all the way up there, weld in there, and all the way back, and it goes pretty much to that relief, and then I'll put another piece in here to box all the way back. Get my strength back in here for what I took out. So my next step is to clean up that frame in here, stitch weld that all in place. Obviously, once the body's off, I'll do some TIG welding in here and MIG welding to finish up everything. But I have that piece there, and then I have another piece on behind me. And then good thing is back here, I actually don't have to relieve this stock piece at all, which I was mentioning in the last video. The mounts are actually right under here, which have this. It's going to be where these two stock trunk. I don't know what their trunk floor. I'm not actually sure what these pieces here are for. Looks like some type of maybe it was for the spare tire. I think maybe, I'm not sure, or maybe I don't know what they're for. So I'm not sure if I'll keep those on there or cut those rivets off. But good thing is the mounts are here, so there's plenty of structure back, and then obviously this stamped 188 piece across. I think that should be good for the rear. I'll have to get creative on what I'm going to do as far as hanging it off there, how that mount's going to look. I know what these front mounts will look like, and I'm hoping to be able to mock that up in cardboard this weekend and start bending that up on the bench. So my next phase is to, like I said, get this plugged in here and start mocking up these front mounts. I can take the cradle out of here because everything's suspended off the top. So hopefully once I get the mount in there, I'll take the cradle off, bolt the whole thing up, and I should be able to get this thing on tires. I still have a couple things to make. Have these go into the eyelet here, and I actually had to machine this out with the mill, but the A-arm width is quite wide, so I have to find somebody with a lathe and turn down some tubing on either side so it's, the shock doesn't go back and forth. Had to do the same thing with the top. Had to machine a hole big enough for this, which thankfully the mill is coming in quite handy with this project, which I was hoping it would, and I wouldn't have wasted my money on it. So, and then also the plasma cutter down here has worked out really well for cutting this sheet steel and then cutting these radiuses. Probably in hindsight would not have started with these difficult cuts, but it was, it's a learning process. So there's some progress going. Once I get, just so you know what the next step is, once I'll get these frames in here, or these mounts in here and hanging, the next step is going to be taking this radiator. I'm going to build a fixture for my welding table. I basically have to recreate this entire radiator shell. As you can see here, this is just steel brazed onto copper, or brass, I should say. These are how the fenders and the grill shell all mounts. The actual lights, the light, the auxiliary light here, and the bracket actually holds the fender up. So this is pretty critical. So I'm having to rebuild this whole thing because I'm not using the original radiator. Obviously, I have to rebuild this. So I'm going to use this radiator as a template, and then the next one will be split down the middle. There'll be two cores. One core on the left will be for the charging and battery cooling. The core on the right would be for the motor cooling. And I already have a company in Indiana that's going to build those cores, but I have to give them not the core, I guess the cores, and then I have to give them the structure. So I'm going to rebuild this whole structure out of steel, and then give them something to put the two cores in with the proper expansion tanks and stuff like that. So that'll be a very interesting project for me because I've never really done anything like that. Of course, I've never done anything like this whole project. So that's our update for today. And hopefully this weekend we're having a yard sale. Try to get rid of some of the stuff in the house and actually in the garage here a little bit. And then we will work on this Sunday. And maybe I'll have an update for you next week if all goes well. Thanks, guys.